Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Best of 30 Days of Sketches. Now today's sketch is this 2-pager right here. And I'm pretty sure when I did this sketch last time, I only did the first page as well. But let's be real. I'm not a fan of this. So I am going to only be using the first page. I've pulled out some papers and things already. So I have some from Echo Park. I have 3 from Echo Park, actually. And then what's this last one? Wouldn't that be funny if that was Echo Park? It's Cartabella, so yeah, it's Echo Park. So I have 4 papers, a 4x6 card that I'm not sure it's a card or if it was a piece of pattern paper cut down. But I have some LE Studio cards, and then I have this one, which I have no idea where this is. Got to be a Project Life, right? Because it's rounded. So I have those, and then I have my 3 photos, and these are just random things around the Pirates ride in Magic Kingdom. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I am going to layer up my background papers just like she has done so in the sketch. So I have that teal paper, and the compass paper is going to layer on top of that, and then totally on top of that basket paper is going to be those 2 papers that I just layered up. Wow, that was so wickedly and awesomely grammatically incorrect. I don't even know what to do with myself. Now that far background paper, the basket paper, is from camping or fishing, or it's from some outdoors thing. And I think it's supposed to be a fishing basket, but I feel like the vibe is good enough for it to be a Pirates layout. Now, I say that, and then I end up creating this layout, and the vibe is not piratey at all. But that's okay, right? Like, you don't have to have themed layouts. Your vibe doesn't even have to be there. Like, it could be whatever you want. So it still is a great layout, right? So I trimmed down the yellow paper, and I was looking at it because I want to cut out some of those doilies and use them on the page. But I just went for it and cut it out. And then I realized that my yellow paper is a little bit crooked, so I need to straighten it out before I can put that washi tape on it. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So for some unknown miraculous reason, once I lift the paper up and put it back down on the table, it's like, ah, the sun comes out, and all of a sudden I can get the paper on straight. I don't know what that's all about. So I'm going to overlap my yellow strip here with this washi tape. And it's a similar color to the teal outline around the edge of the 3rd background paper, right? Like, there's multiple background papers going on right now, guys. And it works for me. So now I am going to follow the sketch where I'm putting the 2 photos and then a decorative bit and then the other photo. So together, these photos are not anything spectacular, right? Or like separately, they're not anything spectacular. They're just little moments around the Pirates ride, right? Like, that's all it is. And I'm trying to take different pictures. So of course, you'll have the pictures that you take every single time you go to Disney. But now I'm starting to take these little moments and these little pictures. And I want to start, like, featuring like the storefronts and stuff like that. So I want to have different photos of things in my albums. And while this might be something that somebody is like, this is not something I would ever document, for me, it's a progression and an evolution of where I started excuse me, is where I started my Disney albums to where they are now. So, makes sense in my mind. I did cut that matte paper and decided to spread it. Now I'm going off sketch a little bit here, guys, by spreading the matte paper and having these extra layers of paper. But this is where you make it your own. You'll definitely be able to look at my layout and look at the left side of the sketch, because remember, I'm only using one side of it. And then you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to say, oh yeah, that's where she got her inspiration from. But your sketch doesn't have to be exact. Your layout doesn't have to exactly match it. So, I went ahead and trimmed that doily down. And my whole time, my plan was to build my title over top of this 3x4 card. Now, I just went ahead and cut it down because it's too thick. Like, I don't want the card to be a 3x4 card. I need it to be a little bit skinnier. So I cut it in a way that I can put it back together and camouflage the join and use it on my page for how I wanted it to be, which is weird, right? Like that, I know it's weird. Why didn't I just cut out a label, or why didn't I just make a label, or because this was here and it was handy and I made it work for me. I talk about making stuff work for you. Sometimes, it's nothing to make something work for you. Like this, I cut a line and put it back together and it was nothing. And sometimes you're using supplies that you have got to do all the work to make it work for you. This supply could have worked for me without me cutting it, just not for this page. Like, this would have been something fine that I would have used anyway. So I'm not too concerned or upset that I had to make something work for me. When I get upset about making stuff work for me, it's when everything is a process. Everything is a struggle. When I just want to stick something down on my layout and I still have to alter it or cut it a certain way or cover it up a certain way or do something, and it gets to be a pain in the rear end, you guys, when you're constantly making your supplies work for you. So I go ahead and cut out another one of these doilies, and I'm going to put it over here on the left-hand side because I don't want the doilies to be directly on top of each other. I want them to be a little bit off-center from each other. I don't want there to be any kind of illusion or even a suggestion that it is spanning the distance on this layout. Don't want that at all. So I've still got part of my title down here with just "Let's Go." That's not the full title. But I felt like I needed to bring in a little bit more of this green color. So I went ahead and added another little bit of layer up here at the top. So again, none of this is on the sketch. Over top of my photo line, none of that is on the sketch. I am just making this work for me because I don't want the top of my page to be naked, right? Like, it's white space up there, but I don't want it. I don't want the white space. I want it to be full and fun. So I'm going to cut out another one of those little doilies, this time a yellow one, and I go ahead and layer that up over the map and also over the doily. And now this is feeling more like me, right? Like I'm feeling more of my style, more of my vibe, more of how I like to scrapbook. So I go into my thickers, and I was looking specifically for some silver, and I had gray and I have sparkly silver. I was looking at my thickers, and I've only got a couple silver thickers, but they're all sparkly silver. Like, why don't I just have regular silver thickers? That's a problem for me. So I'm using these up, and I'm spelling out pirates. And I do spell it correctly. I think I messed it up for a second there. Spelling backwards sometimes is like, what? Like, I'm not a stupid person, But sometimes when you spell stuff backwards, it just doesn't look right. But we get it done. So now it just says, let's go pirates. And we could leave it that way, right? Like, I could just say, let's go pirates. But no, I need to add a little bit more. So I go digging in my alphas, and I find the little yellow ones here from Jelly Bean Soup. And then I actually spell out the word find. So it's let's go find pirates. I think there might even be more. No, I don't think that's let's go find pirates. I think that's just it. Wow. Like, I made this layout yesterday and I'm already forgetting the details. Well, I won't say I'm forgetting the details. I'm just forgetting. Yeah, I'm forgetting the details. Don't even try to talk your way out of that one, Sandy. So I come to the realization that these photos are from my solo trip, right? So the solo trip is the one where I went during the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. And my continuity item throughout this album is flowers on every single layout. So I thought I would use some wood veneer and pop those flowers on there in that way. However, I don't like the wood veneer flowers, so I nixed that idea. However, I'm still putting some wood veneer out. I decided to put 3 different types of hearts. One is going to layer up with that star. This one is a heart on an arrow, and then I'm going to have another heart up here where that funky little tag label thing is. So now I've got some wood veneer on here, and I'm liking it. And I'm like, wow, okay, so my pirates is really sparkly. So yeah, I can bring in some florals here, and I'm trying to bring in flowers that kind of match the colors already. But the flowers that I had that already matched those colors had that big old orangeness in it. And I didn't want to introduce orange on this layout. So I go to my flower box, which is one of my favorite things in the world right now. And I'm trying out these kind of natural colored flowers with the little wood seed beads in the center. And I don't like it. I'm like, no, it's not working for me. So ultimately I pick out some yellow. Some yellow. This is some yellow flowers. Some yellow flowers. And I'm just going to figure out where I want them to go. I'm going to sprinkle them about. I'm not gluing anything down yet because I'm not exactly sure how I'm feeling about this. I know I have to introduce flowers somehow. I'm just not sure. But I figured out. I'm going to use my ATG just to dab on a little tiny bit of adhesive to get the flowers to stick to the page. And now I need something in the center of them. And I was thinking about double upping the flowers. That doesn't come to fruition. And then I'm thinking about, do I want brads in the center? Do I want sequins in the center? I was thinking about those teal matte sequins. I thought that those would have been a good match, but they're still not the right feel for the layout. So I'm like, you know what? I just need to get something sparkly. My pirates word is super, super sparkly, so my flower centers got to be super sparkly. So I dig out my rhinestones, and I've got these kind of whitish clear ones that are along the ride with some purple and teal ones, and I decided to go for those, and it gives me just the right amount of sparkle to go with the sparkly pirates word, and that makes me happy. Now, I love the way this layout looks. I'm just going to add a couple more little sparkly bits just so it looks like there's sparkle throughout the entire layout instead of just on the flowers. And then once I get that done, I'm done with the layout, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me for this layout for Best of 30 Days of Sketches. Check out the Best of 30 Days of Sketches playlist. There is a playlist this time instead of links in all the description boxes, which I think has made it so much easier to watch the videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.